Hello guys, and today I'm going to show you how to upload Brandy the AI chatbot into IBM Watson so that you can have your own resume in chatbot form. Alright, so the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to come over to my LinkedIn page. Just scroll down to the bottom until you find the project section. Open the project, and that will take you to the GitHub. Once you are on GitHub, you click code at the top, download the zip file. I'm just going to save it to my desktop. These are the previous iterations of Brandy. You really don't need to worry about the newest one, the 1.5. I update Brandy rather frequently whenever I can come up with something new for her to do, or if I'm just making the code and the logic a little cleaner. If you've not worked with IBM Watson Assistant at all, I recommend checking out the Coursera course. It's completely free if you can complete it within 7 days, and that's very doable. I think it maybe is 6 to 8 hours total. I'm going to really give you a foundation of how to work with IBM Watson Assistant. So let's get right into it. You're going to click here, get started for free. If you don't have an account, you are going to need to make one. I already have one, so we're just going to log in. Again, this is completely free. The only time you'd pay is if you were going to make this an industrial or use this for business. But there's a large number of queries that are completely free. So once you're on here, click at the main top icon so that it brings you to the skills section. This is a skill is what we're going to train the chatbot to do. So you have a chatbot, which is kind of like a frame, and the skill is the logic that the chatbot will use to run itself. So you'll create a skill. It doesn't, well, we need a dialogue skill. Just go straight to upload. Brandy. We're going to load in the newest one. Upload that skill. And now you're complete. It's full of all the intents and entities and dialogue options that I have used to create Brandy. A few things that I'd like to highlight before I just call it. The target company folder. When I'm applying to a company and I really want to get their interest, what I will do is I will create a specific pathway. So when you talk to Brandy, it asks you for your name and what company you work for. If you work for one of the target companies, in this case IBM, since I applied to them earlier this year, it will bring you to a special place with dialogue that is unique to why I should work for IBM. Recruiters at the company always seem to really like this feature, and so I make sure to add it. You can just duplicate this for each company you want it to work for, and all you're going to do is you're going to come up here and you follow that logic and then change the company to whatever company you want to work for, and just make sure that if it is cash symbol company, that you make sure it's all caps. So IBM. So if this was Google, you'd make sure it's Google all caps. Because that's important, because when you come up here, main menu, we're going to need it in option 4. Make sure that it recognizes the dialogue. So it goes company Accenture, company Delphix. These are some of the companies that I applied for. And make sure you just follow that train. The other thing is you can come down here to resume, and there's a little bit of code here that's basically telling you put in a link, hyperlink, and then call the link resume so that it only appears as resume. And then just change it with a Google Drive link to whatever your resume is. That way it can pull up yours. I think that's it. Actually, there is one last thing. I don't know how I completely forgot to mention this, but one thing we're going to need to do to actually make this functional is you're going to need to come over, click back at the top. Let's see if I remember how to do this correctly. We're going to go to assist, and you're going to need to create an assistant. So we're just going to call this test. And then once we have our assistant, we will actually go and we will add the dialogue note to it. And what this is going to allow us to do is then we can plug in our web integration, call it web chat. And this is the code we will use to embed it into our website. Alternatively, you can not embed it, and you can send this link here, and it will just allow anyone who wants to, it will send them directly to this page here. I'll just demonstrate it. If we come here, it will send them to meet Brandy. So yeah, there you go. That's a functional chatbot, and you can call me Brandon. If you would like more of these videos, be sure to let me know. I'd love to dive into some of the more, like, how I went about building it, how I'm going to go about building things in the future. Just let me know what you guys want to hear from, and I will make sure to get around to it.